Howard Stern Show.
Are you still friendly with Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Lauren.
You do?
Yeah. He's great.
Is he willing to talk to you?
Sure. Yeah.
I see
No,
Lauren. He doesn't speak to
we
me.
were always pretty tight.
Right.
I don't think Al Franken liked me on that show, but I think me and Lauren, I think I'd heard that.
Is that right? Why didn't Al Franken like you?
I don't know, but it really crushed me because I think he was one of the guys that picked sketches. And Robert Smigel, who's a good guy and super funny, and Downey and Lauren, I all got along with. But about 2 years of not getting stuff on, one time, I think Smigel or someone said, "Oh, well, Franken hates you."
Oh.
I go, we all say, "What about Spade thing?" And he goes, "No, we don't want that shit." Oh. So I'm like, I go, I don't need you to pull for me. Just don't fight against.
So in other words, Franken was in a position when you were there to be a senior guy.
They're in the hidden room that picks the sketches.
Right. At the end of the day, they pick which ones
Have
go
to
through.
read through, yeah.
So he probably just didn't get your sense of humor.
Yeah, Sandler doesn't need a ton of help. He was killing. Farley was on autopilot. Everyone was killing. I sort of had Dana there, Dana Carvey. I looked like him, so it was similar, and he was like a better version. So for me to get like an update piece or something that would break through, I could get on, was even harder. And if it did pretty good, having a tiny bit of resistance does not help.
No. And so...
But I don't know. I'm not blaming anything. The show wound up being good for me. It was just that was hard.
Is it weird for you seeing him as a senator now? I mean, it's so totally out of context, right?
Yeah, I think, I don't care.
You don't care.
Well, have you run into him? Do you run into him?
I can't say I don't like him. I haven't gotten that story confirmed. I just had heard that, and it all sort of made sense. I was like, oh, my God.
And it's so hard because you're sitting there writing.
And it broke my heart, too, because, A, I wanted everyone to like me there, and B, there's someone in there. I'm like, why isn't he getting on? It actually did pretty good. And Lauren and I got along, and then finally someone just goes, dude, you're getting killed in that room. I go, oh.
Did he leave while you were there, leave Saturday Night Live so that you were able to get more stuff on the air? Or
I think he did leave toward the end. And then,
but most of the time you were there, he was there.
Yeah,
and you feel
during the formative years of like trying to not get fired. Every year they said, we don't know if we're bringing you back. So every year I had to get rid of my fucking apartment, go back to L.A., and then wait on pins and needles, and they go, yeah, he'll bring you back. Brad Gray was talking to Lauren and going, he doesn't know if he'll bring you back. I'm like, what do I got to do? So even after once I did Hollywood Minute and stuff, I think after 3 years, I felt like I had a job there, but they wouldn't bring me back. So.
It's incredible, too, because you're one of the most successful guys who've left Saturday Night Live, and you're also one of the most memorable. You know what I mean?
I hope. I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I lucked out after getting something because you can go away, and moving 6 times in those 6 years sucked.
I had no idea you went through that every year.
It's horrible. And then I waste money because once I get out of my apartment, then I have to fly back and get a hotel to try to get. I was just trying to scrape money. I couldn't afford $1,000 here and $800 in L.A.
Wow.
It was too much to do both.
Jesus. And, we think when we see somebody on TV, we think they're all just super rich and successful.
Yeah, SNL wasn't. And then luckily it caught up later.
The Howard Stern Show.